Great sunrise, sunshine peoples. I'm back. I'm back again this morning to talk about because I had some questions, COVID questions. And it's due to an experience that a friend of mine had shared with me. And um, I just felt like it'll be great for us to question these things. Okay, let's get into it. Now, by this time, many of us out here probably didn't had COVID 10 times over, and we probably also experienced the super COVID. Wait 1 minute, I better go get my charger. More things like that. By now, we've experienced everything under the sun by now, right, family? I'll tell them what it was. But one question, okay, question number one, I should say. If you have already experienced COVID, wouldn't your body built up antibodies to where you shouldn't have to run around with a mask anymore? You shouldn't have to take the vaccine. If anybody's a nurse out there that want to answer these questions, because my friend, she had the COVID. A friend of mine, she had the COVID. And she got the vaccine, okay? So I brought this up to her that wouldn't you build up antibodies against the COVID where you wouldn't have to take the vaccines? And she thought about it and she agreed, yes. Because when I had the flu, every time I've had it in the military, they said, well, it's too late to give you the flu shot. And even outside the military, when I went to the regular doctor, they said, well, oh, it's too late. You cannot get the flu shot now. And guess why? Because you already have it. So when I already had it, my body was already fighting against, my body was already built up against it. I'm getting it a second time, supposedly. But you have to think about that deeply and question that. Because seriously, if those people who say they already had COVID have it, then why would they have to go back and take the COVID shot? And question number two is, doesn't wearing the mask if you're not sick, cause you to become sick? Does it cause you to your own body to fight against itself, or to, yeah, I'd say fight against itself, because what is happening, I'd say in my own experience, is every time I wear the mask, even though I don't wear it everywhere, I gotta breathe some fresh air. But for the most part, I wear it in the store out of consideration for others. Purely out of consideration for others and the store rules. So, therefore, I have gotten sick from wearing the mask. It has caused me to have a coldness that I would eventually have gotten, because unless I'm wearing hat and gloves when the weather abruptly changes to a lower temperature from a high temperature, my body is going through a trauma of a shock automatically, because it's not at a balanced temperature. It has abruptly been changed. So I have to take in consideration that, okay, the weather's going to be like this, so I need to dress like this to keep my body at a certain temperature, so it can won't, or my heater in my car can also cause me to get immediately sick, because if I have it up too high and I'm leaving the warmth of my car and going to the coldness abruptly, I'm automatically going to have runny nose, cough, and the runny nose and all that draining back into my throat is going to cause other issues with me. So that is something I need to take in consideration, that whole thing in itself. But me coming in and out of the stores wearing my mask as well, I'm making myself sick. Even that small time that I have that mask, because I'm causing a change in my body. And the weather also is causing a change in my body. So I'm dealing with that. So those are my questions to COVID, to the covert COVID, of course, because the whole thing is I'm making myself sick, and then in making myself sick with this mask on my face and not taking care or paying attention to the weather and not taking precautions in my car, making sure that my temperature is not too hot, that I'm not, and then even in my house, making sure I'm not going from a abruptly different temperature and causing this change so that my body can start its own viruses come alive and start fighting for that balance. So those are things we have to consider. Those are things we have to consider. And then I do really think that that's why they were saying us living in cities, we are vulnerable, because of course, if we look up in our skies, we see that they're spraying chemtrails all the time. And that's a big part of it, because it's heavy metals in our air. And that's intentional. And that's a big part of the whole thing. And My question is on that is that making us sick as well? And I do think that that is making us sick. That's my question number 3. And I do think it's making us sick. And being in the city, heavy populated, they're going to spray that in the cities. They spray it over top of us living in the cities. So that's why I really see that it's better for us to live in the countryside. Even though we can still see the spray over the countryside. It's all over the planet, all over the United States, basically. But we have more trees. Where you have more trees and stuff around you, you have a better opportunity because of not getting sick, because the trees produce oxygen. But the other day, I talked about how this stuff falls upon the trees as well. But the trees are very durable. They clean the air for us. So all greenery, our plants, our trees, they clean our air. The plants do so in our house. The trees, they do their job of cleaning our oxygen, making our oxygen purified. So where there are trees, it's a good thing. So I just wanted to come on and talk about those things real quick and my friend's experiences and how nothing has really changed since she's had COVID before. She still had to get the shot. After getting the shot, nothing's changed at her workplace. It's still the same. She still has to wear a mask. You would think after having the COVID and getting the shot that you wouldn't have to wear a mask any longer. But this is her experience. So with that said, true love, real peace, and the higher self within. Till next time, family.